So my intention with this channel is to express my newly revitalized love of professional wrestling. But as with anything in life, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in that world right now. Because what we are seeing from AEW might be the final nail in the coffin when it comes to their chances of ever being looked at as healthy competition again. Let's discuss. So I want to make something very clear before I get into my thoughts on the Brawl Out footage. There was a brief moment in time, early in AEW's existence, where I actually preferred them over WWE.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Mostly because WWE wasn't putting on anywhere near the caliber of shows they are currently putting on, and AEW was offering an alternative. Some healthy competition, which is normally a good thing. The only problem with that is that somewhere along the way AEW felt like they kind of lost their way. And with each passing week, because of that, I became less and less interested in what I was watching. And it got to the point where I tapped out completely because I could not justify dedicating hours of my life to this brand that seemingly had no concept of what I'm actually looking for when it comes to professional wrestling.
No, don't like that.
Now, I know that kind of talk tends to piss some people off, because there is a very tribalistic mentality when it comes to AEW fans and WWE fans. But I'm not the type of person to pretend I'm interested in something, no matter how much I may want to be. AEW has seemingly got to a point where every decision they make is intended to cater to this very niche audience, and not the professional wrestling community as a whole.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
They've been described as the indies with a budget for good reason, because to me they've demonstrated a clear lack of knowledge of how to run a weekly episodic program. They also tend to overestimate the general public's interest in these indie darlings who will never move the needle, because most people have no idea who the f they are, and AEW hasn't shown the capability of building them into the stars that they believe they should be. How many times have we heard about AEW signing this hot free agent? Okada, Ospreay, Monet. What have any of them done to improve television, to increase ratings, or increase revenue? The answer is next to nothing. But the AEW diehards, being a bit delusional, would have you believe that everything is just fine. And all of these very visible issues are being manufactured by haters and WWE stans, instead of accepting it as valid criticism and urging AEW to learn from it.
That makes sense.
Well, after Dynamite this week, I think it's safe to say that we cannot ignore AEW's issues any longer, because they are now exposing themselves as incompetent on national television. What exactly was the point of airing the CM Punk footage tonight? To get back at CM Punk? I don't know about that logic, because the footage pretty much confirms that everything CM Punk said was true. Was it to pop a rating using controversy? Now, it's possible that they might have a slight increase for this segment, but you have to ask yourself, is that sustainable? Odds are, if more people were watching for this segment, most of them switched off right after the segment was over. So that doesn't really help your current situation either, now does it?
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
They tried to use the footage to build an angle they are currently running with FTR and the Young Bucks. An angle that nobody gives a shit about, and probably still doesn't give a shit about. Who benefits from this in AEW? The answer is nobody. Jack Perry looks even more irrelevant than he did this morning, and that's saying something. The Young Bucks look like petty assholes, whether they are in character or not. And Tony Khan is basically exposing his insecurities and exposing his lack of leadership by allowing this to happen. Did anyone see the legendary Tony Schiavone's reaction after this footage was shown? The dude looked disgusted. Because he's been here before, because this is some very 2000s WCW bullshit. Using gimmicks to try to drum up interest in a failing brand because you are desperate. If you put this level of energy into telling stories, then maybe more people would be interested in your product.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
It truly is a clown show, and with every passing day, CM Punk's words ring more and more true. He truly was working with children. Now, you could say that this is good for business when the two companies are taking these shots at each other, but that only does so much. If you don't have a quality product to keep people around after the controversy ends, then all of this is for nothing. CM Punk is visibly more happy, rehabilitated, and living his best life in WWE. He went on a podcast and responded to a question he was asked honestly, and everyone in AEW seemingly lost their mind. Either that or they were used as a vessel to fire back at CM Punk in some way, like Adam Copeland. They dedicated an entire segment of their show to showing footage that accomplished absolutely nothing.
I don't get it.
Not to mention, this made them look even more foolish for firing CM Punk, probably the biggest draw they've ever had. Imagine choosing Jack Perry and the Young Bucks over CM Punk. It will probably go down as one of the most bonehead decisions in the history of professional wrestling. This company is an embarrassment right now, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I ever watched them or that I ever considered them a healthy alternative. Because right now there is nothing healthy about the way they are conducting business.
Y'all be cool. Right on.